I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Woohoo! Happy Friday, everyone. I am super excited because I get to spend some time with all of you. And I have some crazy friends waiting in the green room. I'm sure that cracked a few of them up. But yes, I have some crazy friends waiting in the green room to come and join me on screen and chat about communication. By the way, if you and I have not met yet, my name is Inge van Roy, and I'm recognized as a community connection catalyst. What that means is I love to help people build community. So if you need some new friends and ways to make more money, please reach out and let's connect. I'd love to be able to help you. I want to say thank you to our wonderful sponsors at Africa Online Radio. This is a global radio station. And by the way, we are looking for someone in Greenland to listen to us. So if you know anyone in Greenland, please let me know, connect them to me because our radio station has a global reach to every country in the world except Greenland. Um, so, yes, Kathy, I see you laughing. That is why we're looking for someone in Greenland. Please reach out. And if you don't know, I also host um, a show on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. every Wednesday on this platform. So if you'd like to check it out, please go to their website, africop.co.za, and get in on the fun. Get away from live stream and listen to radio. Did you ever hear anyone say that? I know it's kind of backwards, isn't it? But trust me, it is fun to be able to tune into radio while you're doing everything else. So, without further ado, I want to welcome at least one of my friends to come and say hello. Uh, Before I do that, I just want to say if you're watching, please drop us a comment and let us know. We would love to be able to acknowledge you and weave your comment in with the conversation. I know that I have one friend that has a hard stop today, so I'm going to bring you on. I see you waving. Hello, sir.
Hello. Oh, I can hang out for a little while. It's fine. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I am fabulous now that I'm with a bunch of my crazy friends. It's all good.
Thank you. Russ, won't you please introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Well, because you asked so nice, I'd be happy to. Hey, everybody. My name is Russ Hedge, and I am a marketing coach, a keynote and motivational speaker, and I'm a live stream producer. I love people. I am all about people. And you know what? I am so thankful and blessed to be able to help people learn to grow and connect and build community and how that helps their bottom line. In fact, I was working with a company today and talking about going from your purpose in life, why you're really here, to that connection community building module and moving into being able to get that trust, that know, like, and trust factor and sell things to people. Because really, at the end of the day in business, you're selling yourself a product or a business or something. And you've got to get to that point with people where you're comfortable and you love to work together. It's a great community. And so that's what I'm all about. And if people need help with that, you go to russhedge.com, russhedge.com. Also, as you can tell, I'm very shy. I love to speak to people. I got to speak to 2 groups last week, speaking to a group this morning. Right after I leave here, I'm racing off to speak in person to a group. And then I've got some great things coming up, and I would love to inspire and encourage your group. Or if you need help with your inside relations with your employees or your outside relations with marketing, I'm great at those things, and I can help you out and make your bottom line look better. So that's what I'm all about. And I just blessed to be here, Inger. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm blessed to have you. And you said some of my favorite buzzwords. Speaking of the KLT,
Bzz, bzz.
community, connection. So thank you, Russ. I want to bring on the next guest. Hello,
Okay.
Kathy.
Catherine.
It's me.
It's
Hi.
you. How are you?
I am blessed because I am with y'all.
One of my favorite prayer warriors.
Same. Aw. So, Kathy, who are you and what do you do?
I am Catherine Lane. You can find me over at snarkyrainbows.com because I am a snarky rainbow. I am here to encourage you on your journey to be your unique self, whatever that means for you, wherever that means for you, and however that means for you. I am a rule bender and a world defier.
Oh, a world defier. I think we'll learn more about that as we go along. Thank you. Hello, Gail.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending where everybody's listening from, because I know you have an international audience, Inger. So
Awesome. Yes, that's right. Gail, who are you?
who am I?
Yes,
Well,
I want to know.
I am a recovering journalist and
Mm.
now chief curiosity officer with Gale Now. So I'm a public relations strategist as well. So I help people tell and share their stories, and I use my background in media and knowledge about how to tell a story for your audience. So instead of just talking about what you want to talk about or what you think is important, it's really good to get curious about who's out there listening, who do you want to reach, and share that. And I'm also the mom of an amazing young man, and we're actually coming to Toronto for the documentary festival, Hot Docs. So
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
talk.
Yes, let's talk about that. That's
Yes.
cool. Thank you. Hello, Katie.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. And Inger, I was going to tell you, your hair looks amazing.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
Thank you.
Yours too, Russ.
Thank you.
Morning, Katie. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
How are you? Are you
I'm,
good?
yeah, I'm well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Tell us, who is Katie McDermott?
Okay, well, I'm a lot of things. I just wanted to say, first of all, I am a rule follower. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Catherine. We'll work it out. Don't worry. We'll work it out. I'll set the rules and you can break them.
Elaborate,
Okay.
please.
All right. Well, I am a mom. I'm a Marine Corps mom. I have 3 boys. 2 of them are U.S. Marines. I'm super proud of them. I'm a wife. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. I am known as the manufacturing hype girl. I love everything about manufacturing, especially U.S. manufacturing, and I talk about it, and I'm loud and proud about it as well.
Awesome.
I work at M&I. We connect buyers and sellers in the industrial world. And yeah, that's it. That's all I am today. It's
And
Friday.
you're super at sales and planning.
Oh, yeah, I'm a habitual planner
Yes,
and sales and business development lead generation coach, definitely.
yes, you're amazing at that. Hello.
I do have to defend myself and say I am not a rule breaker. I am a rule bender.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Whitney.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
It's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm happy. It's Friday. I'm happy to be here with all of you.
Awesome. Tell us, who is Whitney Koch?
Yeah, my name is Whitney Koch. I am a wife, a mom to a kindergartner. I'm a cat mom. I am a crazy butterfly lady, and I am also a content writer and account manager at a digital marketing agency.
Nice. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hello to our last but not least. Hello, Forrest.
Good morning, Inger. Good morning, everybody. Russ, Catherine, Katie, Gail, and Whitney.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm also glad it's Friday.
Yeah, I think we all are. It's like, whew, the week is done. We can
Uh-oh.
look to the weekend.
I hope you can still hear me. My connection might be fading.
It's okay. I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Who is Forrest?
Who is Forrest? Forrest is I'm an expatriate. I'm a U.S. citizen, lives in Canada. I have for a number of years, and I do two things. Well, actually, I do one thing really well. I'm a professional friend maker. But I make a lot of friends because I like people, but also I like to help people. And so I can help in two specific ways. If someone's looking for more convenience in their daily shopping, I can help with that. If they're looking to increase the quality of their daily use products around their home, get rid of the toxins, I can help them with that. What really excites me is the fact that I've partnered with this U.S. manufacturer, the wellness company, and I really get a lot of excitement out of helping people monetize their e-commerce business model. So that's me.
Woo, awesome. Thank you, Forrest. Let's say hello to the people that are watching. Yeah. So, first comment, can't wait for this Inga from our friend Rose. Woohoo! And Kathy, we're going to be starting something. Oh Lord. Gail says, let's go. Hashtag show up. Russ, woohoo. And Jenny, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Hi, Jenny. She says, good morning. Oh Lord. Here we go. The comments are happening, everyone. Russ says, Inger and her crazy community are awesome. I love everyone, especially you guys. Jenny says, good morning to you all. And Gail says, happy Friday. I'm also over on YouTube where I also have Curious Minds with Gail now. Russ says, oh, Catherine says, Russ swinging into the front of the line like a ball of enthusiasm. Yes. Oh my goodness. Sammy, he says, it's great seeing you, Russ, after such an inspiring message yesterday. Truly, God heals. Yes. Amen. Amen. Oh my goodness. Gail says, maybe LinkedIn doesn't like YouTube links. I think so. We have Chinedu. He's tuned in from Toronto. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Catherine. Yes. Oh my goodness. And we have Dr. Neutron saying hi to you, Russ. Let's see. Catherine says they used to tell me that curiosity killed the cat, and I would tell them that satisfaction brought it back. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's see. Gail says we need rule makers, rule followers, and also rule breakers and benders when we can all focus also on compassion and getting curious. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. Uh Russ says we are all glad it is Friday, and Catherine says I'm one of those that enjoy all days, even Monday. Whoo! I do too, but sometimes it's like, I don't know.
Monday is my favorite day of the week.
I'm with you. I love Mondays.
And the first of the month, the first of the year, the first of the quarter, any first, I just love it. Fresh
Tell us
start.
why. Oh, fresh start.
Yeah, it's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. You can start fresh. Erase everything from last week and put it onto your list for this week. I don't know.
It's
I
a
just
chance
like it.
for new planning for you. You get to plan more.
Yeah, I guess, but I get to start fresh. It's just like a fresh perspective. I just always feel better in the morning and the beginning of the week. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. That's
Fresh
me.
perspective is good.
It's a chance for self-forgiveness.
Amen.
Let it go. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, Russ. That professional friend maker, that's amazing.
Forrest is awesome.
It's great to be among friends, Whitney says. And Veronica is in the house.
From her boat?
Yes.
Oh no, I said it out loud.
Yes, Veronica lives on a boat. So awesome to see you. Thank you for being here.
Slightly jealous.
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. So, some of us may talk a lot, some may not. But what does communication mean? Russ, Catherine says you talk a lot. What does communication mean to you? I'll ask you, Russ, since.
Wow, I look different. There we go. I looked a lot like Forrest for a minute there. I was a little worried. So yes, I think communication is, I have on my calendar every day a quote by Will Rogers that says, "Don't pass up a good opportunity to shut up."
Mm,
And I think it's a good opportunity to listen to others, to be present. And that's a lot of communication is just those two things. Sometimes we just need to listen. Sometimes we just need to be there. And I need a lot of work on that all the time. God's working on me daily on that. And so, in fact, I was journaling about that this morning. God's work on my life in areas where I really need refinement, and there's many. But communication, I'm a good communicator. I am. I'm good at the speaking part. I'm good at the bringing people together part. I'm good at the enthusiasm and all of that. And I'm only so at the listening part and being present part. So those are the two things I really work at, because I think those are probably the two most vital things to good communication. And because it's not all about you. I mean, really, when you're out there trying to communicate yourself, your brand, your product or service, whatever, it's really what's in it for other people. They care about them, not so much about what you're spouting. And I love the John Maxwell quote that says, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And I think you just need to care about people. And you show that by listening and being present.
love it. Thank you. Catherine, share with us your snarky answer.
My snarky answer is not allowed on live TV. But my honest answer is communication is one heart touching another. And the only way we can have true communication is when we're open and we're honest and we're authentic enough to reveal our heart to the hearts around us. And once we do that, no matter what it is that we're doing, we will touch hearts that are open to encouragement.
I love that. Thank you. Gail?
Well, the quote I live by, and you know this one, Inger, is from the Ted Lasso show, which is "Be curious, not judgmental." And this works in all areas of communication, because when we're curious, we can learn to, also not assume things. And I think if you're working with companies, or you're a parent, or even in your circle of friends or other relationships, often we jump to conclusions because we haven't done the research. We haven't got curious to really figure out what else may be going on. So I think a lot of problems in communication come about because people aren't really aware of the full story, or they can't see another perspective. And that's really a focus of my work of late, is really trying to see another viewpoint, because if not, we end up, in the world we're in now, where there seems to be people only can see one side sometimes. So if we're going to have a healthy society with a healthy communication style, we have to be curious, not judgmental. And I have a picture of Ted Lasso over here on my wall, and I have that quote on my wall behind me as a reminder.
I love it. Thank you. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
What does that mean to you? What does communication mean to you?
Well, I don't know. A lot of things it means to me, I guess. I think I'm with Russ. I'm a really good communicator. I can talk and talk and talk, and I can help other people talk, and I can bring other people into a conversation. Though sometimes I think I'm always working on the listening and being present. I've taught many classes in all my years of sales training about communication and the importance of listening and overcoming objections and dealing with, the unhappy customer. I think it really just comes down to, trying to communicate, making the effort to communicate, and not just talking, but communicating. I feel is more of a two-way kind of thing.
Yes.
So, and I wanted to mention something that I learned a long time ago from Charlene Brown, when she said, "You get to choose what you share." I just that one has always stuck with me. It sits on my computer screen, below my computer screen. Remember, I don't have to share too much. I get to choose what I share. If I don't want to share something personal, I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Wow. What about you, Whitney?
Yeah, I've been scribbling some notes because I really like what everyone has said so far. I agree with Russ and Katie about communication is really, as much about listening and being present as it is about speaking. And when I think about communication, I like to think about what goes unsaid and thinking about, body language, your intuition, vibes, and like that inner knowing. And I think that tells us a lot too about a given situation. It's like some of that unspoken information that we can still use as part of that conversation. And, for communication to be effective, I do think we need to be open and vulnerable to the point that we're comfortable with, to kind of go with what Katie was saying, right? We don't need to lay everything out there for everybody.
Yes.
But yeah, I think communication, kind of like what Gail was saying, there's some perspective taking, and we need to be open to receiving some new information that we might not agree with immediately.
I love that. Wow. So many good nuggets over there. And you, Forrest, hustle, grind, execute. You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Communication. Boy, everyone had some great things to say, and I too really was furiously writing down a few notes because my memory won't serve me well. But I wanted to build on what Russ talked about with communication, and a mentor of mine has told me a while back that everyone tries to communicate, but few people actually connect. And so for me, communication is always a battle or a fight or an effort to get to the connection part, because this communication to me sometimes feels like it's on the surface. I like another saying that people are like gifts, and hearing their story is the unwrapping. Where Gail said, sometimes we're not aware of the full story, and that's where the connection part for me comes in. You really just slow the things down. Actually, slowing it down helps to speed it up. The connection part, actually, I think. And it just I like what Whitney said about being open and vulnerable. That's a tough one for most of us. And I think the more you try to connect beyond the communication level, the easier that the vulnerability and the openness gets. But it's not until I think we get to that connection part that we really can figure out how we can help that other person.
Mm, I love it. Um, I want to share something actually. So when I was growing up, my mom was she used to speak a lot of truths. And I think all of our moms probably did. You know, you think about things that your mom said, and now, especially now as an adult, I can look back and remember and appreciate what she said. And one thing that she taught me was that you have two ears and one mouth. So you need to listen twice as much as you speak. And I will say, I try to do that. We don't always succeed in everything that we try, right? But for me, also, listening is it's really not just using my ears. I listen with my entire body. And what that means is I'm listening with my intuition. I'm listening to what is not being said. Whitney also said that, and that is really what communication is. Communication is all encompassing. It's not just about you getting your point across, but you listening. And also, it's about the way that you behave when you're communicating too, because sometimes we can be so distracted by our phones. You know, it's about being present in the moment, listening, giving that person your full attention, and that means not looking at your phone. So many of us are guilty of that, right? Um, and it's also about actively listening so that you are able to reiterate a little bit of what that person is saying so that they can feel seen and heard. So it's, I don't know, I just feel like people think about communication as speaking and listening, but it's more than just that. I think Russ, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to chime in on that because active listening is so important. And one thing I think, Forrest, you said this about body language, or maybe it was Whitney, I can't remember, but that is so important. Your body language, your facial language, and actively listening. And I always tell a story about my friend Brian when I was just a wee one, just a little boy, and he was the most active listener that I've known in my entire life because he would his facial expressions, and while he's listening to you, he was so excited, and his, body language, I got more and more excited about what I was saying just because I was watching him be excited about what I was saying. And that really shows value to you because then that person values you, as opposed to something I'm guilty of, and everybody is, in a coffee shop, having a nice coffee conversation with somebody. All my friends are walking in around me, though. I'm glancing over here, I'm glancing over there, or saying hi to them, and I'm not giving my full attention to that person. That
Mm,
says something. And I really try to work on that because that says that the things around them are more important than they are at the moment. And I don't want to convey that. And I
wow.
do sometimes. So that's something I always have to work on.
Mm, wow. That's really, really important to note.
Can I
Uh,
push back on that a little bit?
yes.
I just want to bring maybe a little neurodiversity perspective to
Yes,
that.
please.
Some neurodiverse folks like myself, we might struggle with maintaining direct eye contact. And that doesn't mean that we're not listening. We might be fidgeting or doodling or shifting in our seat, and that might be construed as, we're not giving our attention.
Mm,
Um, but those things are actually helping us pay attention to.
focus. Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted
Well,
to
let,
put that out there.
Thank you,
let me,
Whitney.
yeah, it's beautiful. Let me just say on that, that was not a judgmental statement. It was a statement to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
That
yeah.
I am, yeah, because I'm just talking to me about, I want to give them, because I have good examples of people that have great eye contact and show me full presence. And
Yeah.
I just want to emulate that more. We all have, you're right. We all have a certain amount of that where things are going on, and, our personality jumps in, and people understand who we are, understand that sometimes that's just kind of our vibe and what we're all about. But I just trying to be a better person and a better listener because I know you're amazing, Whitney.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
she is.
I will say that thank you, Whitney, for pointing that out. And even though I know it, I still have not been cognizant of it. I live with a few neurodiverse people, and I get annoyed when they don't look at me or they don't respond the way that I want them to. So I'll be more aware of it next time. Forrest, I think you wanted to say something. I'll bring you
Yeah,
on.
just an anecdotal confirmation, I guess, what Whitney just said. Because just yesterday, I had a long Zoom with someone who identified same thing, neurodivergent, and everything you just said, Whitney, fidgety, no eye contact. I mean, looking at everything but the camera. But I knew this person was listening because when a point in the conversation came up where, they had to, like, I guess, refer back to something in the conversation. It did it so artfully, it was almost as if I said it. So yeah, I don't know really where to go with that, except that everyone has their own style, and you just can't judge based on somebody. I mean, it's obvious if someone's not listening to you,
Yeah.
but it's something else if they have a different way of listening to you.
Yeah. It's
And
yes, go ahead, Kathy.
well, I wanted to play off of that and what you said, Inger, because if you go into a conversation expecting them to respond in certain ways or expecting them to do things your way, you're not going into a conversation, you're going into a lecture.
Yeah.
Right.
So always be referring back to that. I'm trying to build a connection with you. I am trying to develop a relationship with you. Therefore, I am more invested in you than I am what I want.
Yes. Well, Gail.
Well, just to add to that, yes, I'm glad Whitney brought up that point to add to mine, because I said some of these cultural differences. I mean, being aware of how people listen, and I think one thing I've learned from parenting, especially a teenager, was that with my son, sometimes he would have earphones in, and I kind of assumed he was just like blowing me off. But one time we talked about it, and he said it was sort of his way of sometimes if he was going through something, he just needed to shut down his mind about something, and music helped him do that. So now I'm more aware. So I agree. If you go into it assuming, like, setting an expectation that my son is going to sometimes always be chatty with me, well, that's not always reality. So yes, I definitely digging in to find out what else is going on. And it's the hardest thing to do, because as human beings, we tend to look at the world always through our lens on everything, relationships, politics, business, everything. We're all generally, very self-centered at times. Even when we think we're not, we still have that what we know. We grow up in a certain way, and that's why sometimes it's not intentional, but that's where awareness is so important, that what lens you're looking through. And I live in a border community, so Canadian, but I've also spent time in the US, traveled in the US, so I see things very different than some of my strong Canadian friends that see things through a Canadian lens, and vice versa, right? So yeah, it's just awareness and not jumping to conclusions, because I tell you, I've got many injuries doing that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it goes back to your quote. Can you reiterate it for us, please?
Be curious, not judgmental. And if anyone hasn't seen that clip from Ted Lasso, if you search Ted Lasso dart scene, like throwing darts, it really says so much about how we, we can get kind of in our own space and think, oh yeah, I know this, I got this. And most times we don't, because we don't really look outside our own perspective on things. And it's not necessarily bad. It's just a reality. And then once you understand that, you can work at it. But it takes effort and energy to look outside our own perspective. It's not something that often comes naturally. So we really have to, work at it. And I think what Russ said, I mean, also, I also think there's an aspect here of faith. And that's, anyways, that's another thing, is sometimes, looking at what's happening and what is in our control, and most things aren't in our control.
You're so right. I was in a mastermind yesterday, and somebody said something so profound. They said, life is about unlearning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, that is so true, because for me, I know that this is something that I learned when I was in school. A teacher of mine used to get so annoyed when we don't look at her and make eye contact when she's communicating. And, you know, I think that is something that was drilled into me, especially during that my time with her. And now that's why I'm like, you need to listen. And my kids are like, but I am listening. And I said, but
Yeah.
how could you be listening? And then they'll just reiterate what I said. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Okay. I guess.
Maybe there's two more parts of this communication process. Maybe it's being upfront and honest to begin with. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to fidget with my pen and I'm going to take notes. I promise you I'm paying attention, even if I'm not looking at you.
Yeah. I actually have a friend that will communicate with me and tell me, like, I'm just going to tell you, I am not having a good day today. And for me, knowing that it empowers me to be able to navigate that space, right? And still hold space for her to be herself.
So,
Right.
Katie, I wanted to say that I think that's a really good point, because becoming a type 1 diabetic through my whole journey, I have to look at my phone and my blood sugar all the time. And I actually tell people, hey, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not looking at text. I'm just every now and then I'm checking my blood sugar, seeing where I'm at. Or I'm adjusting my hearing aids because I don't hear you well. I mean, my phone controls my body now. It's just like my control center. So I just kind of give them that. But I think, being honest, people are like, oh, yeah, no problem. But I think really inside them, that tells them, oh, yeah, he's not just checking text while I'm trying to tell him something. He's actually looking at something important. And so honesty, I think, is important.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about growing up? I had a friend who was deaf in one ear, and she didn't tell anybody about it. Like, we didn't know about it. It's just a congenital thing.
Yeah.
And as we got older and we were teenagers and we'd be at parties or whatever, and people would be like, what's wrong with your friend? She's such a B, like, she's so rude. And I'm like, no, she's not. What are you talking about? Like, but whenever I talk to her, she doesn't say anything. She just stares at me. And I'm
Wow.
like, she's deaf in one ear, maybe talk in her other ear. Oh, I didn't know that. So there's a lot of people that we went to school with who just either don't know her because she never felt comfortable talking to anybody. But there's a lot of people who just thought she was just a mean girl, which she was not. She just couldn't hear you.
People
Wow.
don't realize how hard that is too, because with my hearing loss, I go into social environments all the time, and I have to really focus. And I have to just be honest with people a lot of times and tell them I can't hear things they're saying, because sometimes if I don't think it's that important, I just might smile and nod. But if I think it's something important, yeah. Actually, my beautiful wife, when I first got my hearing aids, thought that it was a good idea not to look at young ladies next to me that I didn't hear speaking in one ear, smile and nod, since I had no idea what they said. And so maybe not good. So anyway, but it is something that, when you go back to what Whitney said, when we have deficiencies or challenges within us, it's good to let people know that, because I think that gives people a whole different perspective. I know it does, because a lot of times I just have to tell people, I didn't hear anything you said, and you need to please say that again.
Yeah. Yeah. Or else you're just gonna drop the ball on communication, right? Because you're not gonna be able to really answer what they're saying as
Right.
well.
And isn't it awesome for someone to tell you, wait a second, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? Like, you were listening, but you want to hear it again so
Right.
you can absorb it. So I don't know. Maybe that's even better. I would
I
prefer to hear that.
Katie, I get that all the time because people don't know how to say my name. Like, when I say my name, they're like, "What?" All the time. Anyway, so here's a question for you guys, and I know, Russ, you need to leave soon, so I'm going to ask you first. But when it comes to building community, what does communication look like for you?
Well, now I look like Katie. There you go. Actually, I was looking better there on that time. So I, as far as building community and communication, I think the number one thing is showing people that you care and showing people that you're invested in them. You're willing to give of yourself to be present and to show them that you really want to be involved in with what they're all about. Because
Mm.
if you don't show people how much you care, they're not going to care anything about what you're doing. I mean, it is just like a two-way street, right? If you're self-centered and, hey, I grew up through high school, I was pretty self-centered. I was pretty all personal consumed. I happened to be one of those guys that was on the stage all the time. I was always out there all the time. And I thought more of myself than I really should have. And so I've learned over the years that you just really need to focus on what others are saying, what they're trying to do, what they're all about, because what that does is when they feel that you're invested, they feel that you care, they want to be around you and they want to build community. And I had a good friend, I don't know if you guys know CJ, Dr. Constance Leland, but yesterday I was on a live stream with her. She was telling me something that really humbled me and made me glad that she saw me this way. And she said, isn't Russ just one of those kind of guys that you just want to be around because he's always so nice and all this kind of stuff? And I thought, wow, well, I am so glad that I'm giving that perception because that's what I want to be doing. But sometimes we're not actually putting out what we want to put out. So what I'm saying again then is just investing in others, caring about others, giving to others, showing them you want to be in their community, and then you're going to be able to communicate better, connect, and build community. And with that, I have to run.
Thank you, guys. Before you go, tell us where people can find you.
Oh, yes. I'm a one-stop shop, russhedge.com. Russhedge.com is everything about me. Please connect with me if we're not connected. And if we are connected and haven't chatted for a while, please connect with me again. I love you all. This is an amazing group. I truly am invested in each one of you here on the screen with me today. And if you're out in the audience watching and we don't know each other, I want to know you. So connect with me today. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Thank
Russ. We love you.
Love you guys too.
Bye, Russ.
See ya.
Russ.
you. An awesome day. Katie, Whitney, since you're on the screen, I always, you know why I say it? Because you freaking live in Katie.
Yeah, I know.
But so what does that look like to you when you're building community?
Yeah, so I was thinking about these ADHD coaching groups that I've been in for the last year and a half or so. And we had our final meeting for this semester earlier this week. And the other two women that I was in group with, I've been in previous groups with. So I felt like I already knew them pretty well. But it was, I don't know, this last semester has been really enlightening. I think we started off the semester just being very open and vulnerable with each other. And that helped us as a group to go deeper and also grow closer. And so I think whenever you're building any kind of community, being able to be vulnerable is key. But I also think it's important to recognize that not everyone is deserving of your vulnerability. You know, you don't need to be vulnerable with everybody. You don't need to build a community with everybody, right? Like, and also not everybody's going to want to build community with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that I've learned over the last couple of years that I think has helped me focus more on the people that are really my community, and not so much on the people who I thought were, but really weren't for one reason or another.
Wow. I just want to touch on something that you said, because a buzzword. It's one of the buzzwords that's going around right now is vulnerable. Be vulnerable, vulnerability, etc. And something that goes hand in hand with that is authenticity. People talk about that a lot, being authentic and being vulnerable. And last week, I actually had a conversation on my show on Wednesday with Tracy Borson, and she's all about authenticity. And one thing that we kind of a conclusion that we reached was that, you know what? Being authentic doesn't mean letting everything hang out.
Mhm.
Some people think that's what it means. You know, and me, whatever, just be me, leave me the way I am. But no, like that's not what it means. Being authentic just means that um you have the opportunity and you can take the opportunity to be yourself, be you, right, Catherine?
Yes.
Good job.
I need a drum roll for that answer.
Well,
Catherine.
we tend to, and I'm listening to y'all talk about community, and we have been going through a very unique season in our journey. I know everybody had a unique season in 2020. We trumped all of y'all with a tornado. So we have everything in our lives has changed, and everything in our journey has changed. And as we have, that's why I said it's so important to know you and to be authentically you, because the more you know you and your authentic self and your unique design, the easier it becomes to recognize your community.
Mm,
And the more difficult it is for other people around you to put their beliefs on your journey, to
yes.
limit your next step with their walls. You become bolder, you become stronger, you become focused. Your plans become easier
Mm,
because you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you just, it's okay that they don't like you, because there are going to be people out there that like you or don't like you. And here's the thing: if you modify who you are in order to get people to like you, then there are going to be people who don't like you for modifying who you are. And some of those people who don't like you for modifying who you are the very people who didn't like you for being you. Let it go. Be you, live you, and you will find your community
yes.
in your unique design.
Yes. And I will say I wanted to answer Whitney as well. Hey, like your people will find you. You're right. Not everybody's gonna want to be in community with you. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's see. What do you have to say, Gail?
Um, well, I think the question was, what does communication
Look like
look
when
like?
in the building
Um,
community? Yeah.
Me, increasingly, and it sort of ties into what other people have been saying, it's about acceptance of others and also of myself when it comes to communicating. And I think it is true that, uh, Inger, what you said is, being vulnerable or talking about what you're doing, you don't have to like tell everything. You can share what is comfortable for you. And I remember one time actually someone saying, you don't want to share everything with everyone, because sometimes, you have something you're excited about and you can share that with someone and they can knock you down, and it can really have a negative impact. So I think communication's also about making sure that you're aware of those boundaries. And I agree. Communication me also means that not everybody will like me. And uh, you know, someone I listen to that I really appreciate is Joyce Meyer. And what I like about her is that she's bold. She's not everybody in the faith community would necessarily resonate with her style. But I think it was her that said this, that like something like 20% of people won't like you. And some people don't like her because of her voice. And when I first listened to her, I actually found it a bit like, didn't like it. But then I found her humor. And so, I often say this, not everybody likes chocolate. So you just have to kind of embrace where you're at and find the people that you that you connect with and that can bring you joy, Inger,
Yeah.
like your name. And that's important. And then the other thing is take the best, leave the rest.
I love that. Whew. Oh my gosh. I want to say something actually. I remember the first time I heard someone say that they don't like chocolate. I was like mind blown. Like, how can somebody say they don't like chocolate? That's
And there's
crazy.
people that love liver, like me. I like. Actually, I'm a flexitarian. Apparently, that's what someone told me. Because if you invite me for a meal, whatever it is, I'm eating it. So there's nothing I don't eat.
Oh my gosh. Forrest, I'm gonna let Katie answer, then I'll come to you. Okay. Katie, what does communication look like to you in building community?
I agree with everything that's been said so far. Just to start with, I made a lot of notes. For me, I think it's more strategic, only because of where I'm at right now with workload. You know, whether it's personal or professional, you know, there's a lot of workload. So for me, definitely communicating towards a community is really more strategic. I talk about mainly manufacturing and sales and business development. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about, and not everybody is interested. Also, the people, for example, in like a LinkedIn community, whatever, I choose who I follow. So who I follow is different from who I talk to, because I'm interested in different things than the people I'm trying to reach, I guess. So I wanted to say that in the very beginning, but anyways, what I was getting at was that being strategic and knowing my limitations and understanding that others may also have limitations. It's not just me. It's not just Whitney. It's, you know, there's other people with the same limitations and the same issues. And I think that I could use that better to my benefit. Also, I have a servant heart. So for me, when I'm communicating and building community, I'm identifying ways that I can help or serve or fill a need.
I love that.
So that's what I have on communicating for building community.
Thank you. Wow. What about you, Forrest?
I just really enjoyed listening this morning to perspectives, because these perspectives are really parcel of who we all are. And as in my world, I look at everything as a story. And so you guys are giving me a little snippet of who you guys are. And I think that's important when you build a community, because honestly, and I don't mean to make this sound transactional, but Gail mentioned this earlier, you know, we're all a little bit self-centered. And I think people need to know what's in it for them when they're coming into your community, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, we all have a favorite radio station, WII-FM. And whether we admit it or not, that's how we kind of navigate most of the time through life, is how can we get at least something out of this interaction. And I think people need to know, you know, what it is that you can offer them. So thank you guys for sharing a little bit about who you guys are. Thank you, Inger, for putting this together. It's been very eye-opening and enlightening, to say the least.
Awesome. Thank you for being here and availing yourself to spend some time with us. It was awesome. Forrest, where can people find you?
Yeah, just here on LinkedIn's good. I'm pretty low maintenance. I don't really need a website per se. Just find me here on LinkedIn, and we can start a conversation there. I like to take them offline. I really do.
Yes. And hopefully sometime soon you and I are going to meet.
We've been threatening, and sooner or later we're going to have to just back that threat up.
Yes. It's going to be amazing. If you didn't know, Forrest and I don't live too far from each other.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. So it'll be amazing when it does happen. Gail, where can people find you?
Had to take it off on mute there. Gail Now is my brand. So you can usually find me at gailnow.com is my website, but here on LinkedIn, Gail Robertson, and over on my YouTube channel, I have a show, Curious Minds with Gail Now. So you can find me there on YouTube as well, and also talking away on different shows of late.
Awesome. Thank you, Gail. Catherine.
I have it muted. And I have been known to forget to turn on my mic, so I don't talk until I feel the click. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I am Catherine Lang. I really made it difficult for you to find me on all social media platforms. I am Catherine Lang, but the best way, and I'm going to put the link into the chat, but the best way is catherinelang.com is my website. If you can't remember how to spell Catherine, because that's weird, because I am weird and my mom was weird apparently, then you can find me at snarkyrainbows.com.
Awesome.
You spell your name right. I just want to put this out here. You spelled it right. Few people spell it right. It's Catherine. It's not Catherine, right?
Thank you. Thank you. I agree 100%.
I love
We will hang
Catherine
out in the
Club.
right Catherine Club together, and the rest of the world can spell our names incorrectly and not find us.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Katie,
Yes.
what's your phone
You
number?
can find me on LinkedIn, on X. I'm a Katie McDermott on both of those, and you can find me on Instagram as Manufacturing Hype Girl. Although I think it's MFG Hype Girl, to be honest with you. We talked about this the other day.
Yes, we did.
Maybe
Tell-
MFG isn't the best way to abbreviate manufacturing because it could stand for something else.
Yes, it could.
But that's where you can read me.
I have to, Katie.
Yeah.
Oh, McDermott. I heard McDermott, and my family's McDermott. I thought maybe we're the same people, and we don't know.
It might be the same people because my understanding, this is my married name. My understanding is that when the family moved from, I still don't know if it's Ireland or Scotland, whatever, when they moved over, they may have been thieves and may have had to change their name. So we may be a McDermott or a McDermott, because when you go back and you look at the tartans, there is not one for McDermott. There is no McDermott anywhere. Maybe.
Glad to know you since you come from a line of thieves.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't come from a line of thieves. That's my husband.
Excuse me, that's your husband. I'm sorry.
You just married into a
You married into a line of thieves. Okay.
I
You
did.
chose to be there. Oh my goodness. Whitney.
Oh, I love it. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm Whitney Koch. You can find me here on LinkedIn. Yeah. Don't have a website. Don't have anything to sell, but I'm happy to connect.
And be friends.
Yeah.
Hey, Whitney, I have a question for you. Is your hair naturally curly?
It is.
I thought so.
So is Gail's. So is Catherine. So is mine.
Well, we've got like curly girls on here too.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I just, you're right. Everyone else has curly hair except me. Well, Anger, of course.
You and Russ, you didn't want to join our club.
Get you, wig.
Oh my gosh. It has been amazing, and I can't believe the time is almost at 1 hour. But I want to, if you know me, you know I love quotes. So I'm going to share one with you today. And this is from Raleigh May. And he said, communication leads to community. That is to understanding, intimacy, and mutual valuing. I want to say thank you to all of you for coming and spending time with me today. And Russ, if you're watching this replay, thank you so much for coming and spending that time with me. I value you. You are my people. And for those of you that were hanging out in the comments, thank you so much. Communication is key. And we want to build community. So send me a message. Let's chat and connect with one another if we haven't already. Make it an amazing Friday, everyone. And be blessed with a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Inger.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.